I don't know. Trump's being an idiot with saying, oh, no, we're going to deport all these immigrants. He doesn't realize that he's basically just laying the groundwork for FBAs to take over, deporting all these immigrants. These immigrants are pretty, not all of them, but some of them, most of them, I'd say, are anti-black. So Trump's basically saying, here, let me deport all these anti-black immigrants. Oh, I think I'm doing something good. And then when the white people die off, black people are just going to take over. So Trump's being an idiot. So I can't really support him. Honestly, I'd probably ride with Biden, to be honest, because, black people are like, oh, Biden's so good. But truth is, he went to Robert Byrd's funeral. I've seen him in the 70s make comments about racial jungles and stuff. So it's like, and I think Biden pretends to be like, oh, yeah, I'm all for black people. But I think deep down, he's one of us. He's just.
Right. Me too. I think he's a white supremacist too. But listen, if you guys are going to go extinct, and some people say it's going to be sooner than 100 years, can you at least leave the recipes for the Rice Krispie treats and tuna casseroles? Because those are good. I don't want y'all to take those to the grave with you. Leave those at least. Well, because you guys really make some great Rice Krispie treats. I'm going to give you that.
Well, I mean, you'll have like half white women that'll maybe possess a little bit of that, but the white males, they don't do that.
Oh, nobody does it better than Karen.
Well, Tariq, how are you going to be? How are the FBAs going to be effing black or white women when they're extinct? They're going to miss that white there.
No, not really. Not really. A lot of the Sambos are fiending for the white. But yeah, these sisters, they still got it popping. So yeah, we still be good to go.
Do not vote for Trump. Do not vote for Trump. He's actually indirectly shooting white people in the foot. Saying, oh, we're going to deport all these immigrants. Do not vote for him. He's being an old, demented idiot by saying we're going to deport anti-black immigrants. Don't do it.
All right. Well, thank you so much, sir. All right.
All right, guys, so we got to talk about a very interesting set of developments in the political landscape, because I tell you guys all the time, I actually pay attention to and consume content from almost everybody on the political spectrum, right? I consume far left content. I consume what is deemed to be far right content, centrist content. I do it because I think it gives me a better understanding of where everybody's at and how certain groups of people think politically. Right? It's pretty useful, okay, for, my channel and what I do. And one particularly fascinating group of people, okay, that I want to talk about here today are the so-called foundational black Americans, okay, the FBAs. I like to call them the Black Ku Klux Klan, right? The Black Klan. Because if you ever listen to their ringleader talk, Tariq Nasheed, during his show, he sounds like the leader of the Black Klan, right? These people are overtly racist, and their agenda involves essentially putting black Americans, or what they see as foundational black Americans, black people have been here since slavery, okay, they want to put those people first, okay? Their main thing that they want on their policy agenda is reparations, which will never happen, okay? However, they're probably most likely to vote Democrat if they're gonna vote, because Democrats are the party that floats with the idea that they're going to give black people reparations, even though it's never going to happen, right? But again, these people are very politically active, right? They want something, aka reparations, they want a handout for their vote. However, they're also socially conservative, okay? They don't really rock with, LGBTQ, okay? They don't really rock with non-black people, okay? They essentially are kind of like Jim Crow segregationists in regards to their agenda and what they want. Okay, it's pretty fascinating stuff to listen to. Now, with that being said, these people, they're having a revelation about the Biden administration and some of the rhetoric that had come from the Biden administration and the Democrats and their policies, specifically when it comes to illegal immigration and how illegal immigration has hurt black people in this country in multiple ways. In this situation, the current border crisis with the Texas Governor Greg Abbott shipping the illegals to liberal cities where a lot of black people live, and now you have the progressives in those cities putting the illegals in black neighborhoods because they have these sanctuary city policies where essentially black people are now required to live with illegal immigrants. You have people like Tariq Nasheed coming out and declaring that Trump is starting to grow on him, okay, that who knows? Maybe, just maybe, the ringleader of the Black Klan might actually vote for Trump. He might actually vote for Trump because Trump declared that he will carry out the largest domestic deportation operation in American history, right? Trump is going to deport illegals. Now, the hilarious part about Tariq Nasheed's radio show is that because he's so overtly racist, okay, and so obsessed with white supremacy, right, and the white man, he's very easy to manipulate, right? If you just use some reverse racial psychology on him, right? Which is what happens when you have white people who routinely call into his show and they troll and they basically play up on these ideas that these people have about how white people feel some type of inferiority complex to black people, right? And in that clip I played at the beginning of this video, what you heard there was a white person calling in, trolling Tariq Nasheed's radio show, okay? And basically putting some reverse psychology on him and basically saying, no, don't vote for Trump. Trump deporting illegal immigrants is actually going to help black people. And as a foundational white American, I'm concerned about Trump deporting the anti-black immigrants. He's going to contribute to white people going extinct because not having more illegals in the country is going to allow FBAs to take over, right? Foundational black Americans are going to take over if Trump wins. Biden's actually a white supremacist, and that's why I'm rocking with him, right? I'm rocking with Biden because he's going to do right by the white man, okay? He's going to prevent the blacks from taking over the country, which that's what Tariq Nasheed wants, right? He wants foundational black Americans to take over, okay? It's actually pretty hilarious to listen to. Okay, because I can instantly pick up on what these people are actually really doing here. It's genius, right? And it's really hilarious to listen to, right? So again, like I said, these people, right, the FBAs, the Black Klan, they're having a Klan meeting here, and their leader, Tariq Nasheed, is trying to help them think about voting for Trump because Trump is promising mass deportations, and they realize that, wow, illegal immigration into this country is not necessarily good for black people, and they need to rethink about what it means to quote unquote get something for their vote. So without further ado, let's go ahead and listen to this because this is pretty fascinating stuff.
What we're talking about how should black people feel about the border crisis. Trump put up a tweet, or was it a tweet? I don't think it was a tweet, but it wasn't a tweet. But I think he did a speech. And he said if he's elected, he's going to start doing mass deportations. He's going to get all of these people coming in illegally. He's getting them out of here. Trump said, if I get elected, all of these people hopping over here illegally, just flooding the borders, this border crisis that's going on, I'm going to clean that up. He was like, yeah, he's going to run on that. That's going to be his campaign fuel. He's going to clean this border crisis up by sending a lot of people back. And me personally, I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that whatsoever. You know, it's that border thing, to me, it's not really working for us. So black people, how should we feel about the border crisis? They're trying to get us involved and get us emotionally involved in all of this stuff. How should we really feel about this border crisis? You know, all of these people flooding over here, that's not helping us. That's not helping us at all. They're getting these people over and papering them up and giving them all types of resources. We can't even get nothing over here. All of the money's going to these people just jumping over the border. They're getting housing, grants, our tax dollars given to them. Certain positions they're training them for as far as the different markets out here. It's an interesting thing. So how is that working for us? And what we get is certain people going into these neighborhoods. They'll flood them in our neighborhoods, and then the crime rate goes up, the scamming goes up. I mean, let's keep it real. I'm not even trying to be mean-spirited, but we got to be very real. They let folks over, dump them on us. They're not putting them in the white neighborhoods because some of the white corporations use them for cheap labor, but they dump them in black neighborhoods.
Well, again, also on top of that, if they try to put them in a white neighborhood, like, for example, Martha's Vineyard, right, the white liberals kick them out, right? They immediately deport the illegals, right? They send them to other places, okay? The liberal cities where black people are, right? So again, when he talks about the white neighborhood, he talks about the white liberals, okay? That's what he's really talking about, okay? Not that white conservatives want him either, but I'm just saying, okay? The white liberals that told black people that is racist to be against open borders don't want illegals in their neighborhoods, and when the illegals get sent to their neighborhoods, they send them, they then immediately deport the illegals to black neighborhoods, right? Which again, the hilarious part about all this is how this border crisis and illegal immigrant situation is coming full circle on the Democrats in their rhetoric. Again, it's truly a fascinating thing to behold, okay? Because this guy is the ringleader of the reparations movement, right? A movement that is essentially a bunch of black people begging for a handout that they're never going to get from the federal government, okay? He knows that they're never going to get it, but hey, he's leading this movement, okay? And now, the dynamic has changed in regards to what is the real issue, because they realize that issue is never going to, they're not going to get anything out of it. But this border crisis situation is now forcing them to rethink about, hey, what does it mean to get something for my vote, right? Because now, if you sit out the election and you decide to not vote, you're really helping Republicans, right? But if you vote for Biden because you want reparations, right, or you think that's going to get you closer to reparations, then essentially what you're signing up for is an open border that's going to hurt black folks, right? So again, part of the reason why I'm doing this video is because I know I have these types of people that watch my channel, because they're more on the socially conservative side. And if you are a so-called FBA and you're watching my channel, I just want you to know, unlike the race hustlers of the world, I'm going to keep it 100 with you, right? When it comes to voting and how to think about this, you're not getting reparations, right? It's not happening. Voting for Democrats is not going to get you closer to reparations. If you want something for your vote, then maybe you need to think about voting for Trump, because Trump is the only candidate in the race that, one, is even to listen to black folks. He did when he was president. He listened, okay? He attempted to try to do something for black people, opportunity zones, HBCU funding, the First Step Act. He had a platinum plan for black America. He at least seemed like he was listening, right? He had an open mind, okay? Whether you were satisfied with it or not doesn't matter. He was open-minded to listening. The Democrats, on the other hand, they're not open-minded to listening. They're going to play you when it comes to reparations. You're not going to get it, and then they're going to turn around and enact policies that are not in your best interest. Again, it's amazing that it took the border crisis to get to this point where these people are actually starting to think logically and realistically about what does it mean to, quote unquote, get something for your vote. It's amazing stuff.
And they understand that these people come from backgrounds. They're not vetting these people. You don't know what kind of criminal that popped out of jail over there that they're putting over here. And black people are complaining around the country in these black communities. They're like, hey man, these folks are robbing and messing with kids and just doing a lot of weird stuff. We don't want them just being dumped on us.
Yeah, again, Democrats told us that it was racist to say stuff like that. It was racist to acknowledge the reality of illegal immigration and what some of these people are bringing over to our country, right? That they're not all, women that are just seeking asylum with their kids and they're, fleeing poverty or whatever. Some of these are grown men that are coming over here and committing crimes and trafficking drugs and doing all types of other crazy stuff. They're coming to our country and they're bringing it to our country. And it's destroying neighborhoods and communities.
So people, we have legitimate gripes about this. It doesn't really work for us. Now, how do you guys feel about the border crisis? How do you think black people should react to this? Because the Democrats, this is their thing. So I want to know from the family, how should black folks react to this thing?
Again, the way black folks should react to it is to stop thinking about this pipe dream of reparations and think about how was black people doing under Trump's economy versus Biden's economy. What was the border like under Trump versus Biden? It's really that simple, right? It's not a complicated thing. If you take out the pipe dream of getting some handout from the government because you think you're owed something for something that you never went through, right? If you take that out of it, it's clear how you should think about it. Trump is clearly the better candidate if you're talking about what's in the best interest for black people. And it's not even just about what's in the best interest for black people, what's in the best interest for the country. What's in the best interest for this country is actually in the best interest for black people. And I don't understand why people keep trying to act like that's not the case. When America's doing good, black people are going to be doing good. There's a reason why there's no other place on earth that is better to be a black person in regards to quality of life and standard of living than America if you're black, right? Even if you're a middle-class black person, even if you're below middle class, whatever, your standard of living compared to 99.999% of the other black people on the planet is vastly better, right? It's better because you're in America. So maybe you should vote for America First policies, right? Get rid of the black first stuff. Because the black first tricks you into voting for Democrats because Democrats, they don't give a damn about coming out here and lying to your face pretending that they're going to do something they're not going to do, right? They'll play off of that. They'll try to pretend like they'll give you reparations. They'll flirt with it. Okay, they'll do a study, right? They'll have a committee. They'll let you voice your concerns. Look what's happening in California. All those black people have boo-hoo-wide and cried for racism at all these committee meetings just for these same Democrats to turn around and tell black people at the end of it, at the end of the tunnel, where they're dangling over your head, your face, right? And black people are jumping for it, right? They finally pull up the carrot and say, nah, we're not giving you the reparations. But thanks for your vote, right? Thanks for your vote. But see, people like me, I'm called a sellout, racial slurs, because I'm simply being real and practical with black people in regards to how you should think about voting, right? That nobody's going to give you a handout, and you shouldn't vote for handouts. What you should vote for is an environment where you're going to be able to get the best outcome financially, where you're going to be able to live in your neighborhood safely, where your neighborhood is not going to be invaded by illegal immigrants, where your kid is going to get a good education because they have school choice. I'm giving you realistic policies to think about in regards to your vote. I'm not selling you a pipe dream.
Let's get the prime guy, prime hop on.
Man, send them back, man. I'm with you. Send them back.
Right.
They ain't give us reparations. They ain't give us nothing yet. Send their ass back. That's all I got to say.
All right.
AKA vote for Trump, right? I'm just saying. I mean, that's the reality of the situation. You're not getting reparations. But again, the point of this video, guys, is that this type of stuff right here, it may seem small, but there are a lot of people in this country that are thinking this way, okay? And they're starting to realize that, okay, well, what Democrats were telling me is in regards to how I should vote and what's best for me, right? That, letting illegal immigrants into the country is great because, you're on team people of color, right? Instead of team America first, maybe that's just not the way I should think about it. Maybe these policies are not good for us. It's not good for the country. These people are probably likely not to vote for Trump, but they're also probably likely not to vote for Biden, right? Which is a win for Trump. Again, if this continues, okay, again, the situation is only going to get worse for Biden, and it really ain't looking good for him in 2024, right? If you have black people sitting out, okay, because of just how bad the Biden administration has been, it's going to be very, very, very hard for him to win an election versus Trump, right? Especially when it seems like you have some black people that may be getting on board the Trump train just simply because the situation is that bad when it comes to the economy and the border. It's fascinating stuff. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a black conservative perspective. Peace.